Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So we're here today because, well, May ended a few days ago. I'm a little late to the party, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the books that I've read in May. I was able to get through 7 books in May. When I first started putting my pile of read books together, I was like, I feel like I didn't read much, but I did somehow. Actually, I listened to a few, and audiobooks have been saving me tremendously lately because there's a lot going on, and I am not afraid to put my earbud in and listen to a book. So that's been my saving grace. But it was a really good rainy month again. I think I'm getting really good at knowing the books that I'm really going to enjoy, and I hope everybody can get to that point because it's a fun ride to be on. So let's go through what I read and what I recommend, which is going to be all of them. And I'll tell you why. So first one I want to talk about is Find Me by Anne Frasier. This was brought to my attention during a virtual reading retreat, which we are in the beginnings of talks on, FYI. But we did a virtual reading retreat in February, and who brought this to me? Was it Jen, maybe? I don't remember. But I immediately bought it on Pango because that's what I do, and made a promise to myself any books that I bought on Pango for that retreat I needed to read ASAP. So picked this up. This one is a really pretty short, fast-paced read. We have a convicted serial killer named Benjamin Fisher. He has offered to lead detectives to basically all of the victims of his. There's one catch though. He insists on his daughter, who is an FBI profiler, come along with them. So Rena is estranged from him. They don't talk. She decides to accompany him basically to just kind of put this in the past and be done with it, because she was a part of her father's crimes. When she was a very little girl, she was kind of the bait. So that all happens you learn that pretty quickly in the beginning, and then we go from there. This one, it's a thriller. There's twists to it. There's things that you don't see coming. There are characters in here you can't help but really like, and then the next moment you're like, but wait. And then the next moment you're like, but oh, maybe not. I teetered between liking them and then being suspicious of them, and then it was all over, and I loved the book. And there is a second book I need to get my hands on. I think it's fine standalone. I don't feel like there's a cliffhanger that I have to go pick up the second book, but I like the characters that I want to kind of keep going. So really enjoy it. If you like thrillery books, if you like suspenseful books, if you like serial killer subject matters, this one is definitely for you. I enjoyed it. I gave this 4 stars. Then, I don't know if this is in order or not, but we're going to go with it. I picked up Remarkably Bright Creatures. This is by Shelby Van Pelt. Very popular book, and I now know why. So we follow 2 main characters. We have Tova Sullivan, who has found a job at an aquarium. She recently lost her husband, who was he was her world, especially after her son also passed away. So recently lost her husband, lost her son a while ago. So she's kind of by herself, and she goes and works at this aquarium, and she meets Marcellus. He's a giant Pacific octopus. He lives at the aquarium. You get Marcellus's point of view in here, and he is such a curmudgeon. He is so cranky, and I love him. If you could give an octopus a hug, I would want to give Marcellus a hug. I did listen to this book because I was told that the audio of this really gives Marcellus even more character and even more, it just brings him to life even more. And absolutely true. It was perfection in my opinion. So we follow Tova, we follow Marcellus. And then there's some other characters brought into play here, and then you kind of see how everything kind of ties together and what happens in the end. But it was heartwarming. Marcellus, again, probably one of my favorite characters of all time. Making sure I'm talking about everything I want to. I did not realize how much it does center around grief, so I want to throw that out in there. And not that it bothered me, but I just, maybe I didn't hear that part. I don't know, but there's definitely a lot of dealing with grief in this book. So, but very, very good. 5 stars, 5 stars. Then I read on Kindle, The Bootlegger's Daughter. The Kindle's also saving me lately, because that's pretty easy to transport and read during basketball tournaments. So, The Bootlegger's Daughter. This is by Nadine Netman. This was, I want to say this was a Amazon First Reads. I'm pretty positive. It's historical fiction. It is Prohibition era. Takes place in LA. This one follows 2 women on 2 sides of the law. So we have the bootlegger's daughter, no spoiler there, and then a woman who's trying to become the first detective to work within the LA Police Department. I surprisingly absolutely love this. I think I went in with like lower expectations. I haven't been having the best of luck with Amazon First Reads lately. So I kind of just went into it like Prohibition era, you got me interested, multiple POVs, you've got me into it, I'm there. And ended up giving this 5 stars. This was phenomenal. And I'm very plot driven. So, I mean, there's some character development, but really just the whole story. And then you get to the author's note and you realize it's based on true events, which just, I mean, that just wraps it up into a bow for me personally. So highly suggest get The Bootlegger's Daughter. Really, really enjoyed it. It was awesome. All right, then we picked up Murder Road by Simone St. James. This was my book of the month book for this month because I'm trying to, again, get through my backlog. This is her newest release that came out. Simone St. James, as you probably know, is one of my favorite authors ever because this woman can write a ghost story that will just attach itself to you and never leave your brain. And for example, in this book, I will never look in my rearview mirror of my car, especially at night, without getting a little nervous first. So fair warning. This one takes place in the 90s. We have April and Eddie. They are on their way to their honeymoon. And remember, it's the 90s, so not the best with, like, you know, GPS. You don't have I named our GPS, so I don't have Denise in my head telling me where to go. So they end up taking a wrong turn as they're on their way to their honeymoon. And they go down this road. And it's called... what is it called? It's a deserted road called Atticus Line. And it is creepy. So they spot what appears to be a lone hitchhiker along this very creepy road. They stop to help, but not long after the woman gets in their car, they see the blood seeping down from her jacket and a truck barreling down the road after them. The hitchhiker dies at the local hospital, and they find themselves in the crosshairs of the police department. Unexplained murders have been happening along this road for years with no explanation. So that they quickly become suspects in this, and just so good. So good. Again, there are parts in this book that I don't know how Simone St. James does it, but these scenes just come alive and they're amazing. So I gave this, what did I give you? I don't remember. I think 4 stars. 4 stars. Loved it. Give me Simone St. James some more. I should actually, oh no, I don't think I've read all of hers. I should finish reading all her backlists and then rank them for you. That's what I should do. All right, then I took a different turn, went for a little science fiction, and I read The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. This was a recommendation from Amanda. This one, as she would put it, is Jurassic Park, but with dragons. But I loved it. This one I gave 4 stars as well. It does take place during COVID-19. So this Jamie, she finds that she lost her job. She doesn't really have many options. She's living in New York City where it's super expensive. And she ends up she works for this like food delivery app. She ends up making a delivery to an old acquaintance that she knew from a while ago. And Tom is like, there's an opening at my job. Why don't you apply for it? And she's like, okay, what do I gotta do? And they're like, they are a animal rights organization, and they're going on a trip, and they need people to pick things up and put them down, basically. And Jamie's like, all right, I'll do anything because I need some money. What Tom doesn't tell Jamie is that the animals that his team cares for are not on Earth, and not on our Earth. They are in an alternate dimension where massive dinosaur-like creatures called Kaiju roam this world. They're the universe's largest and most dangerous pandas, and yet they're more valuable than you might think. So she ends up going there. And it's so great. Again, really quick book and fast-paced. Like, you don't want to put this down. It's so good. It was really good. So 4 stars for that one too. Definitely outside of my realm, but I'm coming to find out that I do like a little science fiction, like devolution with Bigfoot and Kaiju with these Kaiju and cold people. Like, I'm liking that little dipping my toe into the science fiction realm. So it's been fun. So I like that one too. Then I listened to Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle. She also wrote in 5 years, I believe. So hers are more magical realism type romance stories. This one I gave probably more like 3.75. I listened to this one. It was good. I liked In 5 Years better. But this one follows our main character, and kind of the theme of the book is that when she is given pieces of paper randomly, she'll find them. They'll be in her pocket. They'll be with a receipt from a restaurant, and the piece of paper will tell her who she is either dating currently or going to date next, and how long that relationship is going to last. And it's never been wrong. And so it goes through, it's a little bit of a dual timeline-ish. So we're like present day with her current relationship, but then she'll talk about like the past, and we'll go back in the past and learn about her other relationships. So I listened to it. It was fine. It was good. Easy book, nice little palate cleanser, especially after the last couple that I had read. So enjoyed that one as well. Then I read a historical fiction book called When the World Fell Silent. This one is by Donna Jones Alward. She is quickly also becoming a favorite author of mine. 5 Glowing Stars. Will be released on August 1st, I believe. But historical fiction set in Canada, in Halifax, Canada. This centers around 2 main characters. We have Nora and we have Charlotte. I almost said Christine. Charlotte. They are living 2 very different lives and facing very interesting challenges. This is taking place during World War I. So a lot of their loved ones and people they know are in Europe fighting the war. They're trying to hold down things at home. And then the main event of the book happens, and it is the Halifax explosion. So there's a collision between 2 ships within this port that is by Halifax, and it causes this massive explosion. And so they are thrown literally into this disaster, not knowing where they are, where their family is, what they're going to do. Nora is a nurse at the local hospital, so she's helping treat patients. Donna does this amazing scene in this book that I will never forget. Again, the way she writes it, I felt like I was there. Absolutely felt like I was there. And then Charlotte is a patient at the hospital. There's a lot of twists. There's a mystery in here. There's some romance in here. There's family dynamic and family drama in here. This book has everything. And I absolutely loved every minute I read this book. This one I was reading at the last kind of week of May when my kids had every activity known to everyone at the same time. And literally would carry my Kindle with me everywhere I went just so that I could read a page or 2 because I did not want to stop reading this book. I absolutely love them. I love Nora. I love Charlotte. They were faced with some crazy decisions that they had to make. And you couldn't help but feel for them. And then Donna's author's note was fabulous, fantastic. This is based around true events that happened, so I learned a little bit, but loved every single thing about it. So I'm going to link this below. I would highly encourage you, if you want to get one book out of this, get that one because it was awesome. Pre-order it. It comes out August 1st. It's so, so, so good. And thank you, Donna, for sending me an early copy. I was messaging her like the whole time I was reading. I'm like, what are you doing? This better not happen. What is going on? It was great. It was a fun experience. So those are the 7 books that I read in May. Currently reading, I've got a couple of things going on. If I cannot hit my camera. I'm currently reading Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. I'm not sure what I think about this, and I'm this far. The psychological thriller part of this, like the psychological part, is on point because I don't know what to believe or what is happening or what to think at the moment, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing yet. So on the fence still on this one. And then I don't have much coming up next. I'm not sure, so I'm still gonna kind of whittle away at my little stacks that I have behind me. And you'll have to just wait until the June wrap up to see what else I pick up for the month. I got a pretty clean slate, which I love. I love it. I'm way more of a mood reader than a plan, like having to plan out what I'm reading, which if you're new here, welcome aboard. So anyways, if you've read any of these and you want to chat about them, leave a link or leave a comment below. I'd love to talk books with you. What was the book that stood out most for you in May? Leave that because I'm always looking for good recommendations. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you later. Bye. Ooh, P.S. I am in the process of making book covers, which is a little different than the book sleeves that I've been making. So if you do not follow my Etsy shop already, make sure you go follow it like now. As I'm making these and putting them out, I will be updating them in my shop, and that's the best and quickest way to know that they're available. So book covers is a little different. They act like a cover on your book. So your front fits in to the little flap, and then this is really awkward to show. Then the back, there's an elastic strap to hold this along, so it will fit like that. Right now, the only size I have, just because I'm still working out all my kinks, is for like large hardcover books. Book of the month books fit absolutely perfect within these right now. As I get through my system, I will work on smaller sizes for paperbacks and such, but right now I just have the large hardcover books. They will fit like a bigger, thicker book. I use Fourth Wing as my testing, and they all fit around it. So Etsy shop is linked below. Make sure that you are following it so you can get notifications when these are in the shop. So far, I have like a handful of them done. Like that. So I have one here too, but I messed up on this one like majorly, and I don't know what happened. There's a spot on it, so that one's gonna go probably in my stash, but I have a handful of them done. I'm hoping to get them updated. I'm hoping to have them in the shop actually as you are watching this video. So but go and favorite it as I finish them and put them in there. That's the best way that you'll be notified that they're available. So there you go. There's your public service announcement for the day. And then the insides are a different color. So, but yeah, go favorite it now. And that's all. Have a great day, everybody.